Boom. Hey, welcome, everybody. Hey, April, Judy, nice to see all you guys here. Art in the house. Hey, those of you not on camera, do me a favor. I'd love to have you on camera with me right now. It definitely makes it a lot more fun of a presentation when I could see bodies on here. So unless you're in a completely inappropriate place, let's be on camera here. Hey, we're going to spend some exciting time together. Hey, Danielle, nice to see you. My man, Patrick, nice to have you in the house. Cheryl, in the house. Sean, what's happening? Just so I could get a little gut check here, and I'm sure people will start coming in faster and more as we get, going on this. I'd love to know for you, it always helps me out if I know you're new in my world. So if you type in new in the chat bar, or if you've been in my world for a long time, just type in a long time. And this will make sure if I have to modify my presentation at all to make sure, because if I have a lot of people that have been in my world a long time, I could go a little faster, a little quicker, because you think if you're new, well, I want to make sure you get exactly what you need. So thank you. Some of you are new here, a couple months. Hey, welcome. Yes, my man, Tim. Super nice to see you. I enjoyed seeing you out there at the Pantheon event there. So that was super fun. Matt's in the house. Art's in the house for a minute or two. Yes, for sure. All right. Excellent. Let's get digging in. Hey, why we go through this, I want you to remember this is about election proofing your business. And I really don't know why we don't have like 9 million people on here. And I have my own story around that. I think because people love suffering because it's comfortable, because it's easy to connect with suffering than it is with success. What do you guys think? Like, type in the chat bar. Is that like, is my thoughts like weird or something here? I'm going to share a little bit of my background. Some of you had heard it before, so you might as well hear it again. And I got some slides that I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to dig into some statistics. Okay, so we'll go through some statistic stuff. And if you have the endurance enough to stay to the end, I'm going to share with you 3 very key models that very few of you have ever heard. And when you see and hear the 3 models, I'm going to teach you our model that's called the Pinnacle. It's a powerful model. I'm going to teach you a model called our Food Dog Powers, another powerful model. And then I'm going to teach you the Food Dog Parthenon. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to do that at the end. Because you know what, Judy? If they don't stay to the end, they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. But if you do stay here, these 3 models are really going to share and definitely wake you up to a couple things. Okay, to a couple things. Let me give you a couple disclaimers, right? First disclaimer is I'm not guaranteeing any results here. Maybe I used to say our results are abnormal, but I don't think they are anymore, because in the next 6 weeks, I think 2 more companies that I helped will sell. That's going to make it about 80 companies that I helped have sold in the last 36 to 40 months. So I don't believe that my success that I've had is abnormal anymore. I think it's becoming very, very normal when you know what to do, how to do, when to do it, why to do it, and you're being guided by the right people, your levels of success grows. And if you just chase shiny objects, well, your success normally doesn't grow. I do want to make sure why I'm teaching you stuff. If I say things and it triggers a thought, an idea, an action, can you type in the chat bar, or at least type in boom? Can you all put a boom in the chat bar? If I piss you off during the presentation, well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to unlock your personal triggers. I get it. People have triggers today, because some of you might be having your own difficulties right now in business or life. And a lot of people think that, maybe if they just get to the point, they build a company big enough and they sell it, all their problems go away. And they find out, for some people, I don't know if any of you could relate. If you can, put in a chat bar, you'll find out your problems have just begun. They just begun at that moment. All right. The other thing is, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about who this really is a perfect fit for. It will fit any business owner, but if you're between 1 and 10 million, you should just shut your phone off right now and pay attention, because below $1 million, you're probably just trying to figure stuff out. You might be in survival mode. You're in the state where, anybody have a love-hate relationship with their employees? Just type in employees. This way they don't know you're saying you love or hate them, right? You just, I get it. Some of you, Sean, Matt, yeah. But if you're 1 to 10 million, and you also understand that we're in a state of political shifts. Do you get that? Type in "get it" in the chat bar. Do you understand there's economic shifts that are happening? And delusion tells you to wait till after the election and everything will be okay if you just wait long enough. I just did a post. Hey, Anthony, I just did a post the other day. I believe that the biggest risk that you can do today is the waiting game. That's when you're in the waiting game, what you're actually doing is you're making it harder on yourself. And the reason why you're making it harder on yourself is because you're allowing momentum for everyone that's not playing the waiting game. Do you get this? It's called the cost of inaction. The cost of inaction. And I bet all of you can relate, even me, Mike, that played the waiting game. I'm going to wait to invest in that thing. I'm going to wait to do that marketing thing. And then you wake up one day and you say to yourself, where did the last decade go? Type in decade if any of you feel this way. Did you ever have that thought? You wake up in the morning and you go, holy shit. And guys, I'm probably going to curse a little bit, so do me a favor. If it bothers you, change the word, pray for me tonight, whatever makes you feel comfortable. The words don't affect me at all, I promise you. But I'm not going to change my skin to present for you. I think there's plenty of the world out there showing up to be an act, and you're just going to get me the way I am every single day. I have an amazing team on here. My beautiful wife's on here. My son's on here. I got Megan on here. I got business partner Aaron on here. So you got my whole team. I think Morgan might be on here. And so I'm going to give you my real self as we go through this information. Also, if you're somebody who, this training is also for someone who's just like, you're just ready to win already. Type in ready if you're just ready to win. Like, it's not that things are bad. You just thought it would be different, right? You thought it'd be different. And my life today is every day. I don't think there's a day that goes by. I'm trying to think about it, where I don't get a Facebook message. I don't get an email. My team, look at them. They'll tell you they get emails. Mike, this person, the company's falling apart. They're not making money, and their brand is all messed up, and this and that. And I always go like this. Oh my God. Well, why did they wait till now? And then number two, I say, like, what are they waiting for? If you wait to invest in a solution, I'll promise you, and I get it. It's so, it's difficult. And it's not difficult today. It's been difficult forever. I don't know a time. And let's see, I started my business. I'll show you guys some pictures. I was in my very early 20s, I think 22, and I'm level 54 now. What level are you? Type in the chat bar. What level are you? And for all of these years, over 30 something years in business, it's been the same thing. Surrounded by shiny objects, praying that that's the solution. And then what happens is you get sold into something that I want to make sure tonight. Well, first off, this is free, and I want it to be my thing that I want to do in life is give more free value on social media and more free value like this than anybody on the planet. Why? Because I know what it was like when I was trying to solve things. And it seemed like everybody was more concerned only about selling their thing than serving. Now, look, I got some stuff to offer you. If it makes sense, do it. If it doesn't, I hope I can compel you enough to take a chance on yourself. But if not, I want you to leave with action items, okay? And because if you're attending this training, it's probably, well, you tell me, maybe I shouldn't even guess. Why are you here? What do you want to hear from me? Is it you're living with a sense of uncertainty? Are you just fatigued? Do you want a competitive advantage? Sean says mindset shift. Well, thank you for that, because I'd like to think you're here because I'm one of the top in the world at mind growth, shifting, collapsing, limiting beliefs. And we work in over 250 industries. So we're not a one-trick pony. You guys know that term, one-trick pony. It's not like we're only good at plumbing companies or HVAC companies. I did that. I'll share some pictures of things. We got transformation, find customers in a new industry and want to dominate. I love all that. And you probably, for most of you, I'm guessing you just don't want to let down the most important people in your life. Is that true? Type in true in the chat bar. Are you at that point? And I was just sharing with my son today. I said, you know what? You won't know the value of success till sometimes decades later when you need that success. You don't know the value. Like someone told me a long time ago, they said, you know what, Mike, money's not everything. And I said, that's very well said from a broke-ass individual. But I will share with you, when you need money and the roof goes bad, the car goes bad, life goes bad, you're not sitting there saying money doesn't matter. You're sitting there saying money's needed. And if you can relate to that, put some dollar signs in the chat bar. Now, the good news for all of you is there's no lack of money in the world. I want you to write a note. There's no lack of money in the world. It's just not where you are right now. And I think the best book in the world ever written about this is Who Moved My Cheese? Who's read the book? Put cheese in the chat bar. But tell me when you did read it. Hey, Tara, nice to see you. We got Tara's on tonight. You guys got a big team here. They all came here to serve you. Hey, Andrew, super nice to see you. 20 years, cheese. Yeah. So Who Moved My Cheese? This is what we're dealing with. And if you have never read the book, I would go buy it today. Wait till I'm done talking though, okay? But then go on Amazon, buy the book, read it today. Because when you understand the concept that the cheese moved, you don't sit there in what we call like paralysis. I'm going to talk about this a little bit. And just remember, everything I'm sharing with you, and I know I'm a little out of the norm for most of you guys, especially if you're new in my world. I'm not your cigar smoking, drug smoking, alcohol drinking, shoving my car in your face, private flying, big home, shoving it. I'm not against those things. I'm not going to show you my six-pack because I don't have one. What I'm going to do is just give you the real deal. If that's okay, type in real deal in the chat bar. Okay. So let's look at some history, if it's okay with you guys. And I believe that's why a lot of people are in my world today and they follow Food Dog Group and what we do. And what we do is Life, Business, and Wealth by Design is because they're tired of people sugarcoating this stuff. They're tired of this giving a little bit and trying to take a lot. And I think that's why a lot of people, maybe why some of you are here. And I didn't make this up. I'm going to go right to Wikipedia here because I do think it's a pretty valuable resource. And I can't go through the whole history of every recession, but I will share with you as we look at this. There is a chart here. And if you'd like the chart, type in chart in the chat bar and I'll drop the link in there. Let me just copy it real quick, because I'm pretty sure a bunch of you are going to say chart. So let me just drop it in. There you go. There's the link for you guys. And as we look through this, they have these tracked all the way back to 1785. That's a long time, everybody. So I'm going to cruise through these pretty quick because I want to get to more relevant times. Because does it really matter for you 1785? No, but just you heard this phrase. Answer this phrase for me in the chat bar. History what? History, what does it do? History what? Come on, type it in. Repeats itself. But my thing is history only repeats itself for those that don't understand history. See, the fact that, do you guys, tell me if you disagree. Do you know that during every recession and every depression, there's been one person that became broke and one that became wealthy? Agree or disagree? Tell me in the chat bar. Agree or disagree? Agree. So it's not, when we say history repeats itself, it's not a bad thing. A lot of people love it. I call it the purge. If you go back, and we'll get there. So let's look at some. Well, we got the copper panic of 1789. Maybe some of your grandparents or great-great-great-grandparents or something. That recession, depression, recession, depression, recession, 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 recession. Let's go down here. Look, recession, recession. You guys following along, right? I don't want to drive my, the Panic of 1857. This is worth going and just educating yourself on this. Look at them all. Here we go. The Panic of 1873 and the Long Depression. All right, I got to scroll. I got to get to, all right, let's start getting, all right, post-World War I recession. Then we added depression. Now, I want you to focus on this time here, this 1920s, which is pretty much like the industrialized age. Let's call it a great time of evolution. Does that make sense? Type in "makes sense" in the chat bar, right? It's a big time of production and technology came in. Well, there's a very good, exciting thing coming up, everybody. With AI today and robots, this is the new 1920. This is not a time to fear. The only people that fear are people not willing to grow and expand. And anytime I say something you think is at least a little bit of value, just type in boom in the chat bar. So let's catch up to some times here. 1938. Okay, here we go. I was born in 1970. So we had a recession there. And this tells you the time frame. Look, it tells you the duration of it. And it tells you since the last recession. It tells you the unemployment rate. Now, I did a whole training on this called the triangulation, which I triangulated indicators between recessions, repossessions, banking, to put a formula in place, Tim, to say this is pretty much what to predict of what's going to happen. But if we keep going, 1980, some of you have been around in 1980 based on what you typed level. 1990s, who remembers 1990s? So in 1990s, that was a fun time. Did anybody have any money in the stock market in 1990? I did. I was young. I put money in the stock market and it all collapsed. That was a very, very high pressure feeling situation back then. We got to 2000s. Here we go. This is the one I want you to focus on. Who went through 2008? Type in 2008. Did you go through it? 2008 was like, how do I put it? It was like entering the octagon, and every day you were either getting your ass beat or you were like throwing an elbow in there, right? Now, I never had a down year. I never had a flat year. I've always made at least an extra $1 million a year when I had my service company and stuff. And, but it took a lot more to do it. And more people they went broke during that time. That was a great purge in 2008, which made it easier because I want you to pay attention. because what happened in 2008 is pretty similar to now. Matter of fact, the indicators say it's worse. Not to scare you. It means those that are ready, educated, informed, those you're going to win more than you ever imagined. Those that get purged out, you're afraid, you're worried, you're concerned, you better change. That's what I'm going to share with you. So then we had this recession, which was COVID-19. Now, COVID-19 was a fun time. Who had fun during COVID? Type in COVID in the chat bar, right? This was fun. This was scary. Like nobody's been through that, most of us. All of a sudden, you're afraid to breathe near people. You're afraid to see your mom and relatives. They're shutting people down, telling everybody what to do, right? Now, people that I owned an organization, I'll show you pictures in a minute, called CEO Warrior, and I coached over 1,000 business owners. So the average business owner was up major percentage. The industry down major because they didn't know how to navigate it. And here we go. Yeah, that's our last one right there. So COVID-19 recession. This was, they say 2 months. It felt a little longer. And it was 10 years and 8 months. So this Great Recession was 6 years and it lasted a year. So why do I show you this chart? I show you this chart to let you know that for most of you, this will not be the last recession. It probably is not the first one for some of you, but you have the opportunity this time to plan to win. And information, education is going to be your competitive advantage. Fear will be your kryptonite. Do you guys get that? And is the public want to give you fear or do they want to give you fuel? What do you think? They want to give you fear. They're trying to scare you every single day. So let me share some pictures with you guys. Those of you that joined, hey, welcome everybody. Those of you that just joined, if you're new in my world, type in new. And let me show you a couple things here. You know this is the training we're doing. This is why I could relate to you. Now, you might look at this picture of me here and you go, you know what, Mike? That was a long time ago, but I got to share with you, every evolution of my identity felt just like this again and again, Tanya. So even though I was younger there, well, 10 years later, I felt like I was just at another new place. The thing I want you all to type in the chat bar right now is identity. Your success is based on your identity, and your identity is based on your shames, guilts, and traumas. So you're fighting an internal identity that's been programmed, probably from your parents, your grandparents. How many of you are so like cautious about money and your mom was also cautious about money? Tell me in the chat bar. Or how many of you are so like you buy used stuff because your dad always bought used stuff, right? So you're nothing more than a byproduct of last 2 generations, probably. And I can relate because I only put these pictures to make a point. It's not about me, guys. This whole thing is about you. I'm just sharing what I learned and not what I did, what I do now today. I own businesses today. I still own and run businesses. So I'm not a 30-year has-been that did it once and don't do it no more. We operate a team. You got like 6 or 7 of my team on here tonight, and our whole team is virtual. Okay? So if you look at this is old identity, new identity. And this is you got to shed your skin over and over again. And look, this here, old identity. Now, my beautiful wife's on here. We've been together since we're 15 years old. I don't think I have one of the 15-year-old pictures. And, you know, we're going on over 39 something years together. So not only have I learned how to teach people how to scale companies, win bigger, create wealth, but also stay married and connected. Now, if any of you are divorced, I don't mean to create a trigger. I'm meaning to create more success next time. And this is what all of you want, right? Life by design. Life by design. If it's not by design, it's by default. And some of you feel it's by default. How many of you, if you were to be transparent, you just feel like life is in charge of you, you're not in charge of it? It's okay to be upfront. Sometimes I still get days like that I'm like, who the hell's driving this? Like, who's driving this boat here today, right? But you're probably not going to get everything you need to get to the next level. And I don't mean not to sell you on books, because I have lots of books. I'd like for you to buy them, and no one gets wealthy off a book, but it does create a sense of authority and preeminence. You get it by being around and learning from really smart people that are doing it today. So some of these people you might know, like Larry Winget or Jay Abraham or Brian Tracy. That's Lou Ferrigno. That's my son and me right here. And I learned that it's not about being around people. And write this quote down. It's not about who you're around, it's how you're around them. You should probably type in a boom in the chat bar. It's not who you're around, it's how you're around them. And when you do this over time, see, so many people, they're craving comparison, they're craving significance, they're craving. So one of you are looking at this picture and you're saying to yourself, wow, that's cool. I hope I could do that someday. Some of you are looking at this picture and you're flipping me a middle finger in your mind. You're like, yeah, well, good for you, Mike. You were lucky. Well, I got news for you. There's no luck in this. A matter of fact, I feel like I have a lot of non-luck for a lot of things, from lawsuits to employees stealing from me and employees robbing and people sabotaging my companies all the time. A matter of fact, I don't feel there's any luck at all. I feel it's strategy, and you should write that down. Strategy. And the first strategy has to be you. And I don't mean to belittle anybody here. This was cute. It was cute. This was hard, but it was cute. This was Yellow Page to do this. This was no to click on your cell phone and do a Facebook message and talk to 1 million people with the click of a button while you're going to the bathroom. It wasn't. This was really hard to do this. Today, you mean I could go on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook? You mean I could put $10 out there and talk to a customer? You mean I have AI apps? So if you're struggling, I will share something. You're struggling with your identity over everything. You don't have the skills. And it's because also everybody's chasing 100 rabbits. And when you're chasing 100 rabbits, you're catching none. Because someone's over here, they're like, you need this new device, Mike. You have to listen to your people when they're in a house. Really? To do what? Justify your crappy manager? Everybody's trying to put a widget to solve a problem that's 5 steps ahead instead of peeling back the problem to the real problem. And I get it. If anybody's on here that sells widgets, well, they don't love me tonight. My job's not to make you love anybody except yourself and then get progress. So I'm going to shoot you straight, okay? I'm going to shoot you straight. Because the more simplistic and the quicker you get to the real root, the faster the things are going to expand. This is another company. Now, I sold this one in 2017, which I believe became, and some of you might agree, if you do give me a boom, I became the catalytic teacher of how to scale and exit. I believe I helped more people scale and exit than anybody on the planet the last 36 to 40 months. Now, I'm not bragging about that. I'm just saying that's what I did. That was my purpose here. My purpose was to shift an industry, to change humanity in the blue collar space, which I did. And I sold this company in 2020, not because I didn't love it, because the world needed me. This was a movement. That's what this was. I created a movement to change an industry. And I did. And now I created a whole lot of coaches in the world that do it, right? They took everything I teach and they do it today. And they don't need me to do this no more. Because for me, to build a process today, I do that in 30 seconds. For me to build a customer journey, I do that in 30 minutes. For me to fix conversion, average, hire people, I do this in a couple hours today. Because when you have the skill, write this down, everybody. You either have knowledge or you have wisdom. Write that down. You either have knowledge or you have wisdom. Now, let me pause here a minute. I want you to look through your notes and I want you to type in something that you just took away so far since we've been talking. Go ahead. While I clear my throat here, because I'm going on, 2.5 hours of calls right now. Affirmation, beautiful, Robert. What else? What did you take away? Yeah, fear's your kryptonite. Of course. Life by design. Yes, Jen, please. Protein's good. History repeats itself. We don't need fancy tools. Yes. And I didn't sell CEO Warrior or Gold Medal because I didn't love them. I sold it because there was a bigger calling. And I hope all of you someday in your life get to the point where you get chocolate. Guys, I hope you don't mind. I'm talking to my wife through chat here. She's going to make me a chocolate protein. Now you guys all know what I'm going to be drinking. But that's just how we function. You see how that works? When you get to your soul's purpose, you no longer ever call anything work. You never work. You don't say, I'm going to work Monday through Friday. Every day you just look at it. You have 365 days a year to change lives. And that's what we did. I sold myself into my soul's purpose, which is to create life, business, and wealth by design. Now, what I'm teaching you tonight, we're going to get into strategies and tactics and all that stuff. But I just want to share with you everything I'm talking about. It applies to real estate. I sold this in 2023 as a $5 million property. This one we're working on selling now. Looks like I'm getting closer. It's a $5 million property. They're all debt free. That's what we call life, business, and wealth by design. Now you got to know the timing for things, right? There's a right time to buy, a right time to sell. You tell me, when you buy things, you want to buy on the high or buy on the low? Come on, guys, type in the chat bar. You want to buy on the high or you want to buy on the low? When do you want to sell? Sell on the high. But don't sell when it rolls over here. You want to sell before it starts to roll over, right? Before it starts to roll over. And this will just help me a little bit because I'm going to talk about a strategy tonight. Take a quick look here and tell me, how many of these do you think you read? What's there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 12 there. Type in, how many do you think you read? All right, we got 4. We got a bunch here. Thank you for reading them. I hope every single one has changed your life. These are our newest ones here. So Money Cure, Superhuman Mind Power. But boom, here's more. Now, I didn't write these just for, I don't know whoever made up the phrase, and small children hold their ears. Right, Art? I didn't write these for shits and giggles. I wrote these to solve a problem for people. This human engineering is a new one. It's to solve a problem. Conquering fear, a new one to solve a problem. If any of you want to know how to get any of those, just they'll put the email that they can ask any questions in here in the chat bar. And for some of you that are newer in the world, that's what food dogs are. If you're just wondering, my wife and I were at picking up pumpkins the other day because we got this team. Our team's going to have this pumpkin competition. They're all virtual, our team. Hey, team, type in, where do you live in the world? Everybody type in where you live in the world, team. So they're all over the place. And not all our team is on there. We got team in the Philippines. And so we have a pumpkin competition. And the woman said, hey, what is that food dog thing? Does that have to do with dogs? And I was like, nah, it doesn't have to do with dogs. This is what food dogs are. So now you know what food dogs are. Oh, I got one more slide, and then we got to get into some tactics here because I have a lot to still cover with you guys. So I hope you're not going to leave early, because if you do, you'll miss the 3 biggest models that I want to teach tonight. So, and this is our goal for the movement. Look, this is an actual map. We have to update it. This is probably 8 months, maybe a year old, but every one of these spots is somebody in the world that's in our food dog world. So we are working on a global impact, of life, business, and wealth by design. Okay, life, business, and wealth by design. Okay, let's dig into a strategy here right now. Oh, first up, hey, can I get this done? Because I don't want to go back through it later. I do want to get into leadership in crisis, and I got a model I want to draw for you, and I got a fun video for you to watch. But I do have some really cool trainings and events coming up. Could I share that real quick for you guys, and then we'll go into leadership in crisis? Can you tell me in the chat bar? Is that cool? Cheryl says yes. Robert, can I share it real quick? And Andrew and Tracy and all you? Okay, cool. I'm just going to read it to you guys. If you are interested in anything, you let me know. I changed something this year. Everything's by application. So if anybody wants to do anything, they apply and I review it. You know why? I just don't want $1 from anybody if they're not going to do the work, and I don't believe that they're good people. There's a lot of people that, they just want money for money, and they're not family-run people. And we work with family-run people, a lot of husband and wives in business, people that have children, and they want to do bigger in the world. So here's what we have coming up. And if you're registered for it, type in the name if you're already signed up for it. So the one we have coming up, November 19th, and it's 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. It's called Industry Throat Chop. I will share with you, I'll share, there's a page for this. My team will put the link for the page here. If you want to apply for this, it's very affordable training, but you still got to apply. It's this right here. This is Industry Throat Chop. And so they'll put the link for you. I'll share with you why I'm doing Industry Throat Chop and why the date is November 19th. Because we're going to have the election. And right after the election, we're going to have to navigate some moves. We're going to have to make some moves, everybody. I'm going to be making moves, which means you should be making moves. So we're going to spend that time together, an Industry Throat Chop, and I'm going to give you my interpretation of what just happened and what we need to consider doing, because I'm doing it in my own business. So it's 4 hours. If you want to apply for that, you could just go on the link, hit apply, answer some questions. I'll personally be making sure it's a fit for you, and I'll let you know it's good. And then you'll be in. I'll let you know the investment. It's very affordable, okay? All of these trainings are very affordable. So that's Industry Throat Chop. If everybody understands throat chop, give me a little chop in the chat bar. Throw a little, or sweep the leg or something. Anybody watch Cobra Kai? Just sweep the leg. I think I was telling Alan that today. Right, Alan? I was telling him, write a book, sweep the leg. Sweep the leg. Okay, cool. The next one, all right, we're doing something. I don't know anybody that's done it like this. So I'm going to share it with you guys. January 10th to 12th. Are you paying attention to this? Jim already knows. Jim Pierce already knows. January 10th to 12th. We're doing something called Author Power. Now, why am I doing something called Author Power for you guys? Well, there's a very strategic reason I'm doing it for you. Because of this. And I think there's some books not even listed here. I'm pretty sure I wrote more than that, but this is what you have today. This here, the reason you write books is because you want a competitive advantage and you want authority. And this is a strategy for, just so you know, this is an economy proofing strategy right here, is writing a book that's competitive in nature. And one book's worth more than 1,000 blogs. It's worth more than 1,000 social media posts. It's worth more than 500 TikTok videos. You don't even maybe know the power of what a book will do. So January 10th to 12th, in person, 3 days. New Jersey, right here. Jersey Shore, 1 block over. Who's been at the New Jersey Shore house? Type in if you love the house there. Okay, Judy's been there. Yep, Jim's been there. And so not only do you have an option to come, it's only 25 people. I don't think we could fit more than 25. to write 25 people's books with me doing the strategy with my team, the chapters, and writing the books in 3 days. Man, heavy lifting, baby. But we want to create more impactful authors than anybody else on the planet. We're constantly breaking boundaries. Here's the cool thing. Those of you that do get chosen, you have to apply. We'll also have an opportunity for you to get an endorsement. I'm not going to say who the endorsement is by. I'll just tell you, it's one of the sharks of Shark Tank, and the chances of you ever getting this is probably slim and none. And I couldn't get it for 2 companies I scaled and sold. 2 of them. I couldn't get an endorsement of this caliber. So if you're interested in coming, writing a book with our expertise to extra throat chop your industry, raise your conversion, create a lead generation tool unlike you ever imagined, and build authority and credibility that is a competitive against everyone else in your market, boom. Put the calendar. I'm going to give you 2 links. Throw the application in there, team. Put the application link and put the calendar link, because I got a couple more to share. And some of you are going to go, Mike, I don't know what the hell to do. Here's my guarantee to you. I will only let you do what I think is beneficial for you. I won't let you do what's not beneficial. I won't, because it's Food Dog's reputation on the line. And I don't need you running around saying, I did a book and it didn't do anything, which won't happen, because I know what books do. They have scaled. Every one of my companies I built and grew were high 8-figure companies. So I know what it will do. All right, if you're cool on that one, type in author in the chat bar if I explained it good. 3 days, write a book, option for an endorsement that you could put on your company. If you think you're going to sell your company someday, with this endorsement, you're going to send me fruit baskets in the future. I promise you. Okay. Next thing, marketing power. January 28th to the 30th. Team, put the details in there. 10 to 6 p.m., 3 days. We're going to teach you everything we know about marketing. We have specific audits that we're going to teach you. I will give you a warning. If you come to Marketing Power and you have a marketing person on your team or you work with an agency, they're going to dislike us. Why? Because we're going to tell you everything they don't know, and you're going to go back and put pressure. They're going to send me the middle finger. It doesn't matter. I've been training for 39 years. I could handle your marketing agency, I promise you. Little bit of arm bar, right, Alan? Little bit of sweep the leg. We're in. I won't even have to pull the katana off the wall. Okay, but Marketing Power, 3 days. If you want to apply for it, they'll keep putting the application link in there. I'll teach you about copy. I'll teach you about brand. I'll teach you about how to tweak your brand so you can pretty much just step on the industry that you're in a nice way, kind way. We don't want to hurt anybody, but you want to win. You want to win. And that's what we're going to do over 3 days of marketing. All right, I got 2 more and then I'm done. We'll go into tactics and strategies. Type in marketing if you understand it, and you'll have the option to apply for these, and you could set up a calendar invite with me. If you have questions, we'll go through it. I wasn't clear on one thing. These trainings, Sean, they're in a house, a private house, except the marketing, that's virtual. The ones in the house, 30 people. These are not 500 people event. So if you are craving to go to a place, get lost in a crowd where no one knows your name, that's not our world. Thank you, precise. We're focused on the individual. We're given real-time stuff that applies right to you in your life, business, and wealth. So I want to make that clear. You're not coming to some big building where, nobody knows you. All right. Leadership Power. Leadership Power, March 25th to the 27th. 50% closed out already, and it's in March. And we don't even have a page for it. And we're 50% closed out. I don't even know if I'm going to build a page, because now after doing over 500 million in sales, people either trust that we're going to teach them leadership or not. And we're pros at leadership. But it's 3 days in person, 30 people, boom, the house right over there. If you want to lead your company, lead your family, lead your life, lead a movement, that's 3 days. Look, and you don't have to worry. I'm not going to punch you in the face when you come there. Sometimes I get a little excited about that. I'm not going to choke you out and make you swallow salt water. We are the experts of the experts. We can get permanent shifts inside your mind and your soul within an hour without hitting you hard, sweeping your leg, and making you need chiropractic care for 8 months. I've been through that shit. All it did was hurt my body. It didn't change my life. I promise you. I'm glad people go do that. But last thing I want to do is get punched in the face today. That's why I learned to fight, so I don't get hit in the head, because I studied about brain trauma. No one needs it. All right, so leadership power. If you're good about leadership, type in leadership in the chat bar. Type in leadership. Last one. Here we go. This one is 60% closed out. This is called relationship power. It's April 4th and 5th. April 4th and 5th. Now, those of you that are registered for other dates, don't panic, please. You guys that are in our programs, we have separate dates for you guys. So don't be like, what's Mike talking about? But April 4th and 5th, if you're in a relationship, a couple, husband, wife, and you want to come and get aligned, you do not both have to be in the business, and this is not therapy. You're not coming for marriage counseling. You're coming because you want to create alignment to the next level so you can build your bigger future, like me and my wife have done. Jim Pierce is coming. Yeah, anybody else on here registered? So if you want to come and get aligned with your partner so that you guys are seeing eye to eye, and things change when you have kids. My son's on here. He's 25. He's a business expert. He's a scaling expert. He's a mindset expert. And I got a daughter that's 22. Like, things change as you guys have families and stuff, and it can get out of line. It happened with me and my wife. So look, type in relationship if you know what it is. We're done. Thank you for letting me share that. Sip of protein, and here we go. So you got a lot of trainings to pick from, guys. Everything from free. If you're broke off your ass, I'll send you free books and other free stuff. I won't let you down, I promise. If you're struggling and you just need free stuff, we won't send you garbage. You just email my team. Team, put the email, put the application link, and put the calendar. If you're suffering at all, just let us know. I'll send you stuff. Nobody suffers in our world. And if you private message me on Facebook, it's me responding to you, nobody else. I would never disrespect you that way with some damn robot. I just won't do it. I'm not saying people shouldn't do it. I'm just saying I don't do it. All right, here we go. Write down, let's get a fresh page here. Okay, write down. I want you to write down leadership in crisis. Leadership in crisis. And I want you to rate. I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and I want you to be honest. There's no judging here. Like, half of you don't even know each other, and I trust you. I promise, whatever garbage you have, you don't want anybody else's garbage, right? So we'll just be honest with each other. Here's the first question, and we're going to do it. It's going to be 100% yes, or it's 100% no. We're not doing this in between crap. It's either a yes or a no. All right. Your leaders in your organization, and that might just be you, and it's okay. Your leaders all have an ownership mentality, not always looking to leave early or take days off. They don't look to blame owners for things not working. 100% yes or no. Type it in the chat bar. Come on. And don't try to convince yourself a yes and it's a no. Sometimes people did that. One time I said, I'm going to call your company. I called them. They were living a state of delusion. I don't know what they were smoking, but what they thought was real was not real. Thank you for your honesty. You might want to write that down as a note. Right, Tim? Like, we need ownership mentality from everybody. 50-50, that means we're carrying an anchor of 50%. That means what we got is what do they call it? A slow drag. Slow drag, man. Painful for an owner. All right, next question. This is for you yourself. This one is, it's a yes or no. I've had all the training that I need to deal with the new generation. Your skills are in place to manage, scale, wealth, and growth. Yes or no? I get it. Guys, we've invested this year. I'm not blowing smoke. I'll prove it to you. We'll invest almost $300,000 this year in our own education. My brother, he says, Mike, don't you know everything? I said, you think because I grew companies, I know everything? No, there's shit I don't know every day. I pay experts to teach me, so I don't ever get to the day I don't know. I need to keep sharpening the axe. So don't feel bad about these answers. Next thing, ready? Yes or no? You have a detailed leadership growth plan. Your leaders have a growth plan in place to grow the owner's thinking and the leadership team together. Yes or no? You have a growth plan for your leaders. Okay. In the chat bar, type in for me. Are these questions, are you getting value just from the questions? Yes or no? Give me a boom. Give me a boom, for God's sakes. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. I know that with the brain, we sometimes need to shift a little bit. And just so you guys know, we're going to do 90 minutes. So you're either all in it with me or you're not. So we're going to go till 10 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Are you all in? Type in all in if you're going to hang. I get it. I didn't sleep good last night. No effing excuse. I'm going to deliver for you guys. I got to get up early. I got to drive to Maine in the morning in a little pickup truck to go out with my son. You know what? I'm all in it for you guys. So let's do this. We'll be all in it together. Okay. We'll hang strong together. All right. Here we go. Here's a fun little video for you guys. It's 4 minutes. So you could take a drink of water, read your notes, and then you could enjoy this. Some of you might have watched this before. Okay, this, and just give me a thumbs up that you could hear the video.
Cheap publicity stunt.
Hang on, let me read.
An office linebacker was a gimmick, a cheap publicity stunt. But with Terry Tate's proven motivational techniques, our productivity is up another 46% for the year.
Sorry about that, guys.
You must be out of your mind, son. You can't cut the cheese wherever you please. That's just nasty.
But that's not to say that I play favorites in the Felcher family. So, when I received Paul's complaint...
Cut the cheese? I'm lactose intolerant. Terry Tate assaulted me. That's just not right.
My hands were tied. I had to follow employee handbook policy. So, we brought in Geneva Stoller, a human resource consultant with Sanchez Steamer and Company, to run a workshop on office sensitivity.
You eat all the candy again, and I'm gonna lay a snack attack on your candy ass that you won't ever snap back from again.
How interesting. The first rule of sensitivity is that every human has a personal bubble that should never be penetrated without HR approval. Anyone observed in non-compliance will receive one of these. A badge of shame. Any questions? You're fired.
Sensitivity training? Hey, man, I'm a sensitive mother. My tackling knows no race, gender, or creed. So bring it on. I'm an equal opportunity hitter machine, baby. All day, every day. Believe that. Damn, Freddie, you know.
Mr. Tate. It was obvious we had an E11 situation with Mr. Tate. I had no choice but to ask him to turn in his jersey and reassign him to a desk job.
Special bubble? This woman can't come to my house and tell Triple T that he has trouble with the special bubble? Look, man, playing out of position, that ain't Terry's game. You can take the fish out to sea, but you ain't ever gonna take the linebacker out of me. Believe that.
This is Roger.
Hey, fingers member.
Hey, burger flipper. I was about to call you, man.
How's it hanging?
Yeah, just call me Butter, baby. I'm on a roll. Oh, speaking of rolls. Hey, can I get some fries in that shake?
Make that a double.
Well, I'm open to refining the paradigm.
Roger, may I have your permission to initiate physical contact upon your person?
Let's see. No.
the new rules of engagement were affecting our bottom line. Workplace morale plummeted,
Mom?
and horseplay rose sharply. And, as it turns out, like all great revolutionaries, Geneva had a fatal flaw.
Hey, Pablo. Facial hair drives me wild.
It seems that even human resource executives might be human, after all.
Oops.
Wow! You can't make a pass and pinch Pablo's ass? That's old school rules, baby! Wow! Nice mustache.
Ever since Geneva's unfortunate departure, our productivity has gone back to record levels. And, as I've always said, if it ain't something that's broken, then there's no need to repair it.
I already got my oil changed.
Wow! This ain't your home, so don't use the speakerphone, Roger! Wow!
Roger?
All right, so there's your leadership training there for all of you that you could apply. Real quick, funny story. I told my team I hired somebody, a new leader in the organization, which always goes over very well in a company, and then guess what? I played that video, which went over really, really well. All right, let's draw. So, have you ever had a leader? Have you ever had a leader in a state of paralysis, or have you ever felt in a state of paralysis? Tell me in the chat bar. Yes? Okay. Yeah. That happens sometimes. So let's look at a diagram and you guys draw with me. So in an organization, let's just say we have this big mountain, and this mountain we want to do is called scale or maybe profit, right? Scale or profit. And what we do here is we have a lever, right? And we want to move this scale and profit up. Now, if we have one leader and the leader is just standing here with their arms and hands up, and they're just like, hey, I don't know what to do. Have any of you ever did that? Let me make sure I open up chat here. Have any of you just throw your hands up in the middle of the day and said, like, now what? What do I do? So that's called paralysis, right? Now, we have to go from paralysis to focus, okay? We have to go to focus. But if we get people focused on the wrong thing at the wrong time, well, tell me this. If I put this into it, is this going to lift easy if I push down my focus here, or is it going to be hard? Type in the chat bar. Easy or hard? It's going to be very hard, right? So what do we have to do? Well, our goal is to create ownership leaders into a sense of focus where they can put the focus in the right spot so that they could pull down with ease and lift up, scale, and grow whatever they want. When I say scale, I don't care if it's wealth. I don't care if it's revenue. I don't care if it's membership programs, subscription, multiple portfolio companies. Scale is scale. It's the ability to grow. Profit is the ability to win, right? Revenue is the body and profit is the heart. Do you guys get that? Revenue is the body, profit's the heart. So, but you have to know, where are we? If you try to focus with leaders, right? And the leaders are in crisis, which right now, let me share something with you. They're probably in mind crisis. They're probably in mind crisis. Why? Because there's economic control. There's mind control. The public saying, it's a recession, a depression, and president, and then there's crime, and then there's, there's all these things, and then there's boats hitting bridges, and then the port, they're picketing at the port, and then there's well, we can't call it monkeypox because that didn't scare you at all. Then there's mpox, and right, and the whole thing is trying to put people's mind in crisis. The fact that they might be functioning some at work does not mean they're not in mind crisis. And if you don't have the skill to evaluate their mind crisis, we're not talking this disc profiling shit. We're not talking about that. There's a place for that, but that's like very middle level. We're talking about the internal thinkings. So for you guys to know, step one here of economy proofing your business is we have to make sure the minds of our people is good, right? We have to make sure the minds of our people are aligned. We then need the minds of our clients, right? So if we put it like this, we have to have this. So there's a person, there's a person, there's a person. We got to have the owner's mind. We got to have the team's mind. We got to have the client's mind. We have to have our vendor partners' mind. And watch how devastating this could be. If you buy products from somebody, your team, they order something. They're like, hey, I need a part, a book, I don't care what it is. And they're talking to, this vendor is talking to your manager. Yeah, things suck around here, man. Things are really bad. Well, guess what? Your vendor is controlling the mind of your team. So you know what we call this? We have to get to the point where it's one mind. You guys tell me in the chat bar, anybody teaching this out there in the public? Anybody? No, nobody. You have not heard this from anybody, because most people never did 500 million in sales, and most people never went back and analyzed it. I keep going back and analyzing, like, what did I do? What would I do? You guys should move way faster than me, because I'm telling you what to do that I had to figure out, which means you should move faster, right? Now, this, if I was to summarize this before I go to the next strategy, this here is what we're talking. This is leadership. Leadership is the ability to navigate and direct all these roles. It's to direct all these roles. And first, the ultimate leader has to be a model that others can model. And when that happens, everything starts to change in an organization, and you can scale faster, you can make more money, life changes, and then you get a life by design instead of a life by default. Okay, type in for me, what did you take away from this? And give me an action item or something. My action item for you would be, if you're not going to come learn leadership from Food Dog Group, well, go learn it from someone who's talking about this, because there is higher level learning without complexity, right? This is not complex, what I taught you. I hope it's awakening. I hope it's creating a little bit of, enlightenment for you, but it's not complex. But you have to understand now, what's the language patterns that influence this to stay together versus destroy it? What's empowering this structure versus disempowering? How do we create a structure of communication in here where we have all these minds aligned? Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one here. So, and let me keep an eye on our time, because you know what? I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Let me skip to, I want to make sure for you guys, I want to make sure we get to, I want to talk about these three models. So I'm going to go to the models, and then I'll come back and cover anything else that I wanted to cover, because I normally build about 4 hours worth of information to deliver to you in 90 minutes. So, but I want to make sure you get this part. Hey, Lisa, super nice to see you. So the first thing here is we have something that's called the pinnacles. Now, if you look at and you think about pinnacles, I want you to think of a mountain like this, right? And there's a mountain, and at the top of the mountain, I don't like that line. Let's see if I could go fancier for you guys. Okay, here we go. Boom. Okay, that's better. At the top of the mountain, right? We want what's called up there is we want to have this Parthenon, and this Parthenon is what we want to call legacy, right? Legacy. How many of you want to know that at the end of your life, you won't be forgotten and you really made a difference? I do. Tell me in the chat bar. Like, I really do. I don't want to be, I have these weird thoughts, Anthony, at weird times. And I had this thought a while ago that I knew my dad. I barely knew a lot about my dad's dad, and I know nothing about my dad's dad's dad. That means you're going to disappear in a very short period of time. And that just sounds like, what was life? Like, what was the purpose then here to disappear? So my thing is build a legacy, and I want my legacy to go 1,000 years plus. That's what I'm focusing on. Not because I have to be famous or anything. It's because I got to do something that creates impact, and it's a self-building impact machine. Now, if you look at what it takes to get there, this is what I believe it takes. It takes life, it takes business, and it takes wealth to climb these pinnacles, okay? To climb these pinnacles. And in life, you need to have a wheel. And the bigger the tread on the life wheel, the stronger the wheel, which there's 10 pieces to the wheel. And I'll show you a diagram after I go through this. And if you balance all 10 spokes or sections of the wheel, this wheel will be strong and it will start to climb this mountain. Is that making sense? Hit me with a boom if that makes sense. Now, if my life is in line, I then can start. Hey, don't judge me, guys. Sometimes the circle just doesn't do its thing. You know what I mean? Okay. If the life wheel starts climbing, we then have a business wheel. And the business wheel has 10 components to it. And as long as the business wheel is going, we will grow towards wealth. Now, how many of you, all of you have, so just tell me in the chat bar, business was going really great. I mean, you were feeling pretty good. And then life came in and business just, that's it, baby. It starts to fall apart. You ignore it. If your marriage starts to have trouble, what happens to the business? Business falls apart. So if you're building the business wheel and you ignore the life wheel, well, you'll probably end up divorced or not knowing your family or unhealthy or overweight or diabetes or something. But if we balance the life wheel and the business wheel, these two wheels will work together and they'll start climbing us up the mountain. And then there is a wealth wheel. There's a wealth wheel. And if we start, there's 10 pieces to the wealth wheel. Now, if you have all these aligned and you build massive wealth, and all of a sudden you invest in stuff that's not working, you spend, you don't focus on your money, you have bad people managing it, and your wealth goes away, what will start to happen? The business will go away. What starts to happen? Our life goes away. So when we say life, business, and wealth by design, it's not a cute thing. It's a blueprint of success to get to the highest mountain of legacy, to get to building our biggest Parthenon. Are you resonating with this? Tell me yes in the chat. Are you resonating? I'll have a fancier diagram to show you, but I want you really to consume this because for some of you, you're You're one little pie in one of these away to go into the very next level. And when people ask me personally, my team, I'm sure they say something similar. They say, Mike, I don't know. Where am I stuck? I say, first, let's analyze the life. Tell me, let's rate and rank these 10 components. Okay, it looks like they're good. Let's go to the business. And this is like a MRI machine, right? Where it looks at everything and says, there's the problem. Now, once we have this here, we then want to apply something that's called the Food Dog Powers. Now, I want you to write this down, even if you wrote it before. Energy is everything, and everything is energy. Can you write it down? Energy is everything, and everything's energy. Now, we went into deep research about, let's look at the forces and the powers of energy, and where do people win and where do they fall apart? So if we start here and we put energy in the middle, we then know that if you have no energy, you're dead. Okay, your body doesn't move, you're fatigued, right? If I just sucked all the energy, because we're energy beings, right? Our consciousness, our soul, we have electrical pulses inside our brain. We're electrical and energy beings. Well, there's one part here that starts to come off on this energy being, and some of you probably read my book called Mind Power.
Mike, there's something blocking your screen. It's a big gray box. We can't see what you're drawing.
Oh, it's this? That one?
No,
hang on a minute. Let me fix it up. Is that clear?
Now. Yeah, no,
okay,
it's blocking the other side of it.
Hang on. I had chat bars. I gotta okay, how about now?
Okay, it's all right. We're missing part of the word power, but as long as you state.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, now we can see it.
Okay, all right. Yeah. All right, so now what we have is we have mind power. Now, mind power is built of a couple pieces. You ready for this, everybody? Let me, I'll fit it in here. So the first part about mind power is we have this subconscious mind, okay? The subconscious mind is this programming inside your mind. It's everything that ever happened in your life. It's what makes you feel triggered. It's what makes you feel confident. It's what makes you feel shame or guilt. It's every part of you. And that's why people have a hard time changing identity, because they don't know how to shift the subconscious mind. Then there's the conscious mind. The conscious mind is you tonight saying, yeah, this is good. I'm going to stay on here. This makes sense, because it's going to your subconscious, and your subconscious says, all right, this guy's tattooed. He's a little effing loud, but he's saying shit no one else is saying, and it's resonating with me. And I hope you're feeling like you're moving further to where you want, closer to where you want to go, and further away from what you don't want no more. So that's the conscious mind. And then we have what's called the superconscious. The superconscious, all of you know what it is. The superconscious for you would be called maybe God. It might be soul. It might be universe, right? It might be oneness. That's what superconscious is. And all of that falls under the power of mind power. And when you know how to align these things, you have a superpower here, a superpower in life, business, and wealth. Is this resonating? Can you type in resonate in the chat bar? Are you getting massive value here? I hope you're getting massive value here. All right, but we got to go. There's two more powers here. There's two more powers. All right. So we have to have our mind ready first. After our mind power is ready, then we have something. You need skills, and you need skill power. Now, when you think about skill power, and I built a theory many years ago called 9 pillars, and like all things that you build, there's a moment where the old collapses and the new has to come in, because you find that the old one no longer fits the paradigm to get people to the further distance where they want to go. And there was a pillar missing in what I built in the past. The pillar that was missing was called the 10th pillar that I built, which was called energy. And then I found out there's only 3 core powers. 3: mind power, skill power. Now, under skill power, you have to have training, you need coaching, and you need managing. Not in your company, in your life. Some of you, type in the chat bar, which one of those are you missing right now that's holding you back from the next level of success? Just be true with me. Is it you're not getting training and you know you need training? You know you need marketing training. You either got to become a marketer or you're a slave to an agency because they're telling you you're getting a lot of clicks, and clicks didn't put money in my pocket, right? TikTok videos didn't put money in my pocket. You know what put money in my pocket? Shit that worked, that gave a lead, that was a lead that was ready to buy, and my team was able to make sense, and they gave us money. Okay, that's money. Some of you just may not have coaching. You're stuck in your own way, and you need someone to unhook you, right? Unlock you a little bit. And managing, some of you are just in your own way. You just need someone to say, can you just get up today and do this, right? So, but that's skill power. And if you look inside your company, a lot of you probably, I'm guessing, don't understand energy enough. If you don't understand that enough, you definitely don't understand power enough. You're trying to solve your problems with skills. It doesn't work with skills alone, because skills with the same level of thinking in mind are useless. Trying to give new knowledge to the same computer system. Let me take my old, let me take a beeper. Remember a beeper? Some of you might add a beeper. And let me try to look up email on a beeper. Beepers don't have email. You can't look up email on a beeper. So you're trying to put new skills in a damn beeper, and you wonder why your people get a little bit of bump and then come right back down. Is this resonating? Can you give me a boom in the chat bar? But there's one more here that you need. And this one here is the 3rd power. Okay, 3rd power, which is action power. Everything without doing anything is nothing. It's nothing if you don't do something. And in order to take action power, you have to have clarity. What the heck are we going to do? And that's why when I work with people myself, I'm like, okay, let's look at the life wheel. I want to be healthier. Okay, I don't know what does healthier mean? To you, healthy might be losing 30 pounds. To me, healthier might be having sex every day. I don't even know what healthy is until I define it, right, Brendan? That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know until I ask you, what is healthy to you? What do you want it to be? So I got to have clarity. I have to have alignment. And most people think they have alignment in maybe their company. They don't even have alignment with their wife. They don't even have alignment with their family. They don't even have alignment with themselves. And the last one is accountability. Accountability is nothing more than leverage. Leverage of why is this worth doing this? Why the heck do we even do this? Let me unshare this a minute. I want you guys, like, can you tell me what's making sense for you here? Is this, because I mean, I know it's probably one of the latest ones we've ever done, masterclass, but I wanted you to dream about this tonight. I still got one more model I got to do. So which one of those do you need most? Do you need accountability? Do you need action power, mind power, or skill power? You just need to understand energy. Do you need to understand energy at a higher level? When we do this, it's no longer a shock on how do we scale organizations? How do we scale? How do we create a life, business, and wealth by design? It is a formula. But Art, you know what it's not? Eamon, I don't even know if I'm saying your name right, Eamon, but here's what it's not. Kevin, they say to me, success leaves clues. That's what they say to me. You know what I say to them? Do I look like Dora the effing Explorer? You think I have time to run around like a cartoon and sniff for clues? Everybody that's ever told me success means clues, you know what I said? Okay, well, F you, I don't need a clue. I need a blueprint. I need knowledge. I need a plan. I need wisdom. I don't need to go sniff around listen to 30 podcasts and read 42 books and hope what? I find the one secret sauce. So many people, maybe some of you, you're doing the right things at the wrong damn time. Is that possible? Just type in possible in the chat bar. Is it possible? You're doing the right things at the wrong time. I get it. I get it. Let me do the last diagram here for you guys. And I hope you're enjoying my drawings here tonight. So what we need here is Aaron, is my screen clear for everybody?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, did I ever tell you guys I'm a tattoo artist? You may not want that line tattooed on you, but we'll see if, or that one. But for sense, we're going to go with this one tonight. Okay. So we want to build what's called a Parthenon. And you guys feel free to draw it with me tonight because it embeds in your thinking, a Parthenon. And when we build a Parthenon, we want what we called legacy, okay, built on a foundation. If this foundation, now I'm from a very construction family, right? My dad was a mason. I grew up carrying bricks, mixing cement. I became an electrician by trade. So like, and my company, my service company did plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, drain cleaning, one-day bathroom solutions, basement waterproofing. We did kitchen remodels at one time. Like, I understand the construction and pretty much blue collar space, everything from, you know, water filtration to sprinkler systems to gutters to siding to windows. Like, I've been in this my whole life. I know that if you build a house and you have a crappy foundation on top of sand, this thing's going to crumble. Okay? It's going to crumble. I also know that there is powers in the form of strong columns. Okay? Now you tell me if these columns are important. So one of the columns right here, this is a leadership column. Is that important? Yes or no? Tell me in the chat bar. Is a leadership column important? Yeah. The next column is a marketing column. Is a marketing column important? Yes or no? Yes. Another column, I'll write up here, it's called business. Okay. That's what we call business power, right? This is business power. This is marketing power. This is leadership power, because you need to put power into these things to get the results. Is business, is understanding, you know, how to build an operational, optimized function business. Yes, right? The next thing, tell me if this one's important. Sales power. Is sales important? Yeah, you have to understand it. Another one, what about this one? Life power. Is life power important? Is it important to have power in your relationships, power in your health, power inside your mind, power of nutrition? Like, is light, right? Because you need power inside your life. Otherwise, your life feels like it's falling apart. Now, what about this one? Wealth power. Is it important someday to get wealth? Yeah, so you could create generational wealth, and you could take the wealth and you could give that to charities, and you could impact the world. And the last one here, relationship power. Relationship. And kudos to you guys for hanging so strong tonight. Normally, I'm used to, you know, the Facebook world falling asleep on me by now, and I'm normally just getting warmed up at 10 o'clock. So kudos to everybody. So we have relationship power. When you build these powers into your life, into your business, into your wealth, guess what happens here? This is what happens for you guys. You then build a really strong roof like this. You get a strong roof. And when you put all these in place, this creates what I think a lot of you want. You tell me in the chat bar, type the word in. You want freedom. How many of you want freedom? But freedom is fueled by something. And when you lose it, it's fueled by this, everybody, personal growth. It's fueled by personal growth. And when you start losing personal growth, the roof starts to leak, starts to leak. When the roof leaks, it starts to destroy the columns. When the columns destroy, it destroys the foundation. When the foundation is destroyed, when the foundation is destroyed, it starts to make the house. This is where there's mudslides. Your wealth goes away. Your business starts to go away. You feel like your life's going away. And this is where people tell me, I have to start from square zero. And guess what? The only reason why people have to start from square zero, everybody, is because everything started to fall apart because they didn't have the tracking mechanisms. So let me share, I'm going to share the final diagram with you guys, and we're going to get ready to close this up in a couple minutes. All right, here's the final diagram. I'm going to give it all three of those in one cool diagram for you guys. And here you have it. 3, I should make you drum roll. 2, 1, boom. There you go. So you have your pinnacles with your 3 wheels. You have your life wheel, your business wheel, and your wealth wheel. What's the goal? Empower the wheels, track the wheels. Every wheel has 10 columns. When we balance all 10 columns, boom, we start climbing. We power each of the wheels with the Food Dog powers. Mind power, skill power, action power, powered by energy. And we drive those to build our Parthenon, which is building our legacy on a foundation by all these columns here. Leadership power, marketing power. Now, what do we have for you? I shared with you the beginning of this, and I hope some of you will take advantage of it and you'll apply for some of these. We have leadership power coming up for you. Why? Well, I just talked for 90 minutes. Why? And I'm hoping that you'll invest in yourself on this so that you're not investing in suffering, you're investing in solutions. We have marketing power in January. I hope some of you will take advantage of that and you'll apply for that. And then we have relationship power. And we have that coming up for you next year. And throughout the year, some of you will probably we'll have business power, sales power, life power, and wealth power. We'll cycle through these for one reason: change humanity and create more wealth, more businesses that are sustainable and longevity for everybody's life so that we could keep hanging out for a long time and we become what I call the catalysters, right? The people that are changing the world, the impactors, and that's who you are. So team, hey, Judy, I love your smiling at 10 o'clock. Can we we'll put the application, no matter what, at least click and look at the application. You're not signing up for anything. You're just checking it out. So put the application in. If you feel you want to have a conversation with me because you just don't know what to do, guess what? Put the calendar invite there, schedule time with me. They'll put links. We'll set up a time. We'll talk a little bit. And the last thing is if you just have a generic question, they'll put the email for you guys. Otherwise, if you could just tell me in 1 or 2 words, how was this training tonight for you? I would love to hear it from you because, man, I have sweat through my shirt right now. I still got to make some food for my journey tomorrow to Maine. So I got to go pack up some food because, you know, I always say this, Lori, I'm like, I don't need a lot of food. And then like 4 hours in the trip, I'm like ready to chew my arm off. So I have to get food. All right. Very impactful. Thank you. Daniel, I think I sent you a message. But if you're going to respond back, only respond back in 5 minutes. Otherwise, tomorrow, because I'm going to go to bed soon. All right. Thanks. Always learning. Hey, Lisa, super nice to see you tonight. Value to take action. Tim, honored, brother, to know you for so long. Extraordinary. Brendan gave me power. Very impactful. Power. Priceless. Tracy, thank you so much. Unbelievable. William, I'm so glad you spent time with me tonight. Judy, always enlightening. You know, we love and appreciate you. Leadership power. Andrew, I know you're excited for that one. Very welcome. Joey, energy. Boom. I hope you could feel it tonight. Great strategies. Always compounding. Art, grateful. Everybody, have an amazing night. Boom.